morning, students. Welcome back in English class. Students, I hope you all are doing great at your home. And today we are reading the chapter The Comet 2, and this Comet 2 is in the continuation of the previous lesson that we have read named The Comet 1. And this chapter gives us a description of the meeting, how the experts came to a solution about the comet that was going to hit or collide with the earth, and it describes how Indrani Devi gave to her superstitions and organized a yagna to get rid of the ill luck. So let's take a quick recap of this chapter. The story continues as Sir John drops off James at the hotel after. So this chapter is an extension of the Comet 1 part, and here we are going to start from our story when the Sir Jane drops off James at the hotel after discussion the specification of the meeting, and it was really hard for the Jane to believe or to imagine the future collision that was going to happen in the earth, and thus he even doubted on his own speculations about his own calculations. And when upon reaching the conference, when all of James' doubts were vanished regarding St. John's efficiency, because so many dignitaries were there, when he saw everybody, so many experts, so many scientists, they were present to attend the meeting, and they all did their all calculations. Manoj Datta was also there too. The experts checked and rechecked James' calculations and concluded that the collision was going to happen. The expert dismissed defensive measures like living in underground bunkers. It was of no use. It was simply not a practical proposition. So the only course was to take an offensive action rather for a defensive one. So Comet Datta could be marginally deflected from its path by giving it a hard push. Thus, they needed the bulk of nuclear power to do, and the nuclear power that present on Earth. A gigantic nuclear explosion, suitably placed, suitably directed, and suitably timed could do the trick. So they all were going to rely on this trick, as they were not having so many options. So this could be done by placing the nuclear payload in the spaceship, sending it to intercept the approaching comet, and detonating it by a remote control. So success or failure, secrecy must be preserved. Finally, a timetable was drawn up for the operation, which was code-named Project Light Brigade. There were a few important dates like October 10 for dispatching the spacecraft, November 10 for rendezvous of the spacecraft and the comet, and December 15, the day on which the collision was supposed to happen if the operation failed. During this period, Sir John and Dattada, they had become friends, and when Dattada asked about Sir John's opinion of the success of the operation, then John Macpherson, he told him that he was not going to purchase any of the Christmas presents till December 15. So Dattada stayed for few days there. For 2 more weeks he stayed there, and during that time he visited British Isles and observatories. He learned so many new things there, and upon returning he was greeted by a crowd, a big bash of friends, social leaders, communists, students, and few other uninvited people. So whereas reaching home, he saw another crowd in Pandal this time that had gathered for a yagna. Indrani Devi, who knew that Dattada did not like crowds, summoned Sibaji Babu, Dattada's brother, to explain it to him. So Sivaji Babu told him that it was to avert the ill luck associated with the comet. Dattada burst out after hearing all this shit and refused to perform the meaningless rituals. So today we are going to find out what is eventually going to happen in the story. So let's read out part 2. The story of part 2. Dattada returns home to a warm welcome and a ceremony, which is not a scientist's delight. A secret communication sends him rushing to the local sweet shop. Indrani Devi says that Khokha, their 8-year-old grandson, has saved the world. Her husband is seriously puzzled. Arriving home, he found another crowd gathered under a pandal. He glanced questioningly at Indrani Devi. Surely she knew how he hated crowds. Indrani, obviously uneasy, offered the explanation too. I have arranged a yagna and called priests to bless you. But why? Just because I left the shores of India? You know it's no longer taboo. And in any case, you know my views on these meaningless rituals. Indrani Devi looked at Shivaji Babu, the younger brother of her husband. Shivaji Babu coughed and explained, "We have all been very disturbed since you discovered the comet. Guruji recommended a Shanti Yagna to pacify the evil spirit behind the comet. We are all waiting for you to perform the yagna. May I know what specific advantage there is in this ceremony?" Dattada was outwardly calm. "The comet you have discovered will not cause any ill effects on the earth." At this remark, Dattada blew up. "Don't you know that this is all superstition? It could be condoned in the olden times when man did not know what comets were. Not so in modern times. Comets are known for what they are. Their movements are forecast precisely by mathematical calculations, and it's clearly established by statistical studies that their visits have no correlations with disasters on the earth. All this is, of course, futile on my part to explain. You and the likes of you never read even the elementary books on science. So last we have read that Dattada stayed for 2 more weeks after the conference was over, and there during that time he visited British Isles, observatories, and as he exchanged views with the amateur, professional astronomers and scientists. So when he returned to India, he was very happily received by a crowd consisting friends, social leaders, students, scientists, and other few more people. He was covered with the garlands and flooded with questions from the media, and thus it became very, very difficult, very hard for him to make his way to the car. So today we are going to discuss the second part. Here, when Dattada reached his home after attending all the questions of the media and of the common people there, he found another crowd assembled in a pandal. So many people were there inside his house in a pandal, in an empty space that is called pandal, a mark or a large tent that is used for a social or commercial function that is called pandal in Hindi. He looked at Indrani Devi with the expectations of an explanation that how so many people are gathered here. And Indrani Devi, she was also well aware that Dattada disliked large number of people gathered together. So thus quietly, hesitantly, she told Dattada that she had made arrangements for a yagna and had even called priests to shower their blessings on him. So what is the meaning of yagna? A ritual sacrifice with a specific objective. In Hindi we call it havan. So Indrani Devi, she was going to perform a yagna havan with the help of Dattada, and she had made all the arrangements there. So Dattada asked her the reason behind this yagna, what was the purpose. He told her if it was because he had crossed the Indian borders and went to abroad, then she needs to not to do it because it was no longer a taboo to go and live in abroad cities or countries. So even otherwise, he specified how she knows about his opinion of these rituals. According to Dattada, these rituals lacked sense and were all damnably meaningless. So Indrani Devi gave a look at her brother-in-law Shivaji Babu, the brother of Manoj Datta. Shivaji Babu coughed and he presented himself and in front of Manoj Datta, and he offered now an explanation behind the purpose of the yagna and mentioned how disturbed they have been since Dattada had discovered the comet, as their mind, because these people's mind was already fulfilled with the perception that comets always bring ill luck. So thus Shivaji Babu, he said that their Guruji had advised a few rituals to bring peace and prevent the ill luck that comet was supposed to bring. So Shivaji Babu told Dattada that they had been looking forward to his arrival, so that with the help of Manoj Datta, with the help of him, he could perform all the ceremonies and rituals of the yagna. So Dattada, trying to look calm from the outside, inquired about the advantages that the ceremony would result in. So he was thinking, come on, let's. It doesn't matter that I have to perform this ritual for the sake of my wife. So he inquired about the advantages that the ceremony would result in. And then further, all the people, they told him that they have arranged it to eliminate any ill effects that the comet would have on the earth. Dattada could not contain himself anymore this time, and thus he told them that all these were superstitions, totally and sheer superstition, nothing else, that he did not believe in them. And according to him, these myths were justified in old times when comets had not yet been studied by a man. But now, when scientists, astronomers, they have studied comets, they are just known for what they are, and their movements are predicted by mathematical calculation. It's very simple. And he further mentioned that it has been confirmed by statistical studies, calculations, manipulations, that there is no mutual connection between the arrival of a comet and the calamities that happen on the earth. So he remarked again and again all of his efforts explaining this to them, and that are useless because they have never ever even shown interest in the elementary books on basic science. So he was, however, interrupted further by Shivaji Babu, but Dattada, he was so depressed by the act of his wife and his brother Shivaji Babu that they were going to perform the yagna just to avoid the ill luck that was supposed to bring by the comet. Shivaji Babu gently interjected, but our wise forefathers recommended such yagnas. Since his return from London, Dattada was in regular correspondence with Sir John Macpherson. Their friendship had grown out of their appreciation of each other's virtues. Sir John admired Dattada's scientific outlook, while the latter admired the former's discipline and efficiency. Their correspondence never mentioned the Project Light Brigade, although once in a while Sir John would hint at its progress in a subtle manner that Dattada would understand. Meanwhile, Comet Datta was following its predicted path. In due course, it developed its tail, it circled round the sun without breaking apart, nor did it evaporate. The scientists on Project Light Brigade therefore knew that the threat of collision was now very much real. In the middle of October, the Tada got a letter from Sir John in the midst of description of the meeting of the Royal Astronomical Society, the unseasonably warm weather, the opening matches of the football season, and a recent by-election. The Tada spotted this sentence he was eagerly looking for. The charge of the Light Brigade has begun. Let us hope for the best. So the spacecraft had been launched on time. So when Dattada and Shivaji Babu and Indrani, they all were doing the discussion about the yagna and the thing. So he was further interrupted by Shivaji Babu, who said that these yagnas have been advised by their forefathers and it's in their religion. So even after coming back from the London, Dattada was in a regular touch with Sir John Macpherson through letters. Their bond had strengthened enough more because of their respect for each other's high moral and ethical behavior. Sir John liked Dattada's scientific viewpoints, whereas Dattada admired Sir John's discipline and planning. They never mentioned anything about Project Light Brigade while communicating in their letters. However, Sir John would slip in a few hard to comprehend hints about their progress. On the other hand, Comet Datta was roaming on its path, which was well predicted by the experts. It was judged, it was observed by all these scientists regularly. Even a tail got formed as it circled round the sun without turning into pieces or evaporating as guessed by few scientists. So, thus it made it perfectly clear to the scientists that scientists who were involved in the Project Light Brigade that the predicted threats of the hit are real and surely the comet was going to hit or collide with the earth. Somewhere near mid-October, Dattada once they received a letter from Sir John Macpherson. That letter talked about the specifications of the meeting of Royal Astronomical Society, the unusually hot weather, the opening matches of the football tournament, and a recent by-election. However, in the midst of all these topics of discussion, Dattada was searching for a hidden hint on the progress of their experiment, which, when he found, said that the Project Light Brigade has begun and now they shall all hope for the best. From this, Datta was now assured, now was happy that the spacecraft had been launched right on time and he was hoping for a good news to come. But will it achieve the rendezvous in time? At the right place? Will the remote control detonation work? What if the gigantic nuclear pile fails to fire? Dattada could not share his anxieties with anyone around him. He had to participate in and outwardly enjoy the puja ceremonies, the Diwali celebration, and the other festivals. His sole daytime relaxation was in the company of Kokha, his 8-year-old grandson, and of course at looking through Dibya. He was regularly monitoring the comet, now clearly visible even to the naked eye. On November 18, a special messenger on a scooter from the British Council brought in an urgent telex message for him. The telex operator in Calcutta had wondered what was so special about it to make it so urgent. But on reading it, Dattada lost all his lethargy and rushed to his favorite Rasgulla shop. The message read, I am confident now of buying my Christmas presents on December 15, John Macpherson. So, with the launching of the spacecraft, a lot of doubts arose in Dattada's mind. He was anxious, he was worried, and he was worrying about the collision with each other at the right place and the accurate time. So many doubts were there. He felt anxious and doubted if the remote control detonation would work or if the huge nuclear spacecraft would fire. Despite all his worried, all of this going on in his head, he could not share it with anyone around him. and thus he had to participate in the puja ceremonies and even pretend to be having fun in all those ceremonies and yagnas, Diwali celebration, and other festivals. The only moment he found peace was when he was with Koka, his 8-year-old grandchild, and secondly, when he gazed at the sky with Dibya, his 8-inch long telescope. So Dattada was continuously keeping an eye on Comet Datta that was now also clear to the naked eye. He received an urgent telex from a special messenger from the British Council, who came to give it on a scooter on November 18th. Even the telex operator in Calcutta was left amazed on seeing how urgent it was, and that he began thinking what was special about it. So reading the letter made Tattada lose his laziness, his letharginess, and his laziness, and ran to his favorite Rasgulla shop. The message was by Sir John Macpherson, and it said that he was going to now purchase buy Christmas presents for his friends, relatives, and family on December 15th. So when Gattada heard this news, he got the message and he was so damn happy that he ran away and purchased Rasgulla from the shop. On December 15, Comet Datta was closest to the Earth at a distance of 80,000 kilometers. Millions saw it and admired it. Only a handful knew how close they had come to a total annihilation when the comet had gone far away and was seen no more. Dattada felt it safe to make the following comment to his wife. Now that the comet came and went, are you satisfied that no major disaster took place that can be attributed to it? I agree that there has been no major disaster, but there could have been some. Do you know how they were averted? Indrani Devi said with a quiet confidence. Dattada looked at her. Did she know? How could she? He had never mentioned Project Light Brigade to her. He probed cautiously. I don't understand what you mean. It's very simple. There were no disaster because of the yagna at our house, of course. But I never performed the yagna. Don't you remember? I refused to have anything to do with it. Of course I do, but we found a way out. At least Guruji did. He said that if you were unwilling to perform the yagna, it would be all right if a descendant of yours did it. So we got Koka to deputize for you. And it has worked. Isn't Guruji clever? Indrani Devi's voice had a ring of triumph. The Tada formed a mental picture of Koka performing the yagna, uttering mantras dictated to him, which he did not understand, pouring ghee at specified intervals into the fire, offering flowers, and then the picture changed to an assembly of scientists at the conference analyzing the problem, devising solutions and executing them rationally and efficiently. It seemed hard to believe that both pictures were different aspects of contemporary human society. Tada was aware of the gulf that separates the rich from the poor, the educated from the illiterate, the privileged from the unprivileged. But this gap between the rational and the superstitious seemed to him far wider, far more sinister. Will human society ever succeed in eliminating it? Dattada did not know the answer. So, as predicted, Comet Datta came nearest to the Earth on December 15 at a distance of 80,000 kilometers. Lots of people from all over the world saw it and adored it, but only a few knew how close they were to a complete destruction disaster. It was only when the risk had passed and the comet had gone so far away that it was no longer visible that the Tada felt relieved to say to his wife, if she was relieved now that the comet had passed peacefully without causing any destruction, Indrani Devi agreed that there was no major disaster, but she mentioned that there were a lot of chances of there being one. She asked the Tada if he knows how it was prevented. So the Tada was surprised on hearing what Indrani Devi said. He said that looked at her and wondered if she knew about the secret operation that was held by astronomers and scientists secretly, and how it was possible because he had never even mentioned the project to any of them. So he decided to investigate carefully and told her that he didn't understand what she was trying to say at that moment. Indrani Devi told him that everything went on peacefully, so smoothly, just because of the yagna they have performed at their house. He asked her to remember how he had refused. Datta replied that he did not perform the yagna. He asked her to remember how he had refused to take part or to be a part of that yagna. Indrani Devi told him that she was well aware about this and they had found a way to perform it without Dattada's participation. Rather, she told him that Guruji came up with the idea that if he was reluctant to take part in the meeting, so in the yagna, it would also work if any of his successors did it. So they decided to have Khoka, his grandson, to fill in for him. She was quite proud of emerging victorious as she mentioned that the yagna bore fruit and how clever was their Guruji. Datta imagined his 8-year-old grandson performing all the rituals as per Guruji's instructions, saying mantras that he did not understand, pouring in ghee regularly into the fire of the yagnas, and presenting flowers. Then this picture was suddenly replaced by a group of scientists examining the problem, coming up with the solutions and ways to implement them. Both the pictures were so far different. For him, it was hard to accept that both these scenarios represented two distinct sides of the modern day world. He was well acquainted with the factors that divided the rich and the poor, the literate and the illiterate, the privileged and the unprivileged, but it was difficult for him to comprehend or to understand the intensity of the gap between logic and the superstitions. He asked himself if humans will ever be able to remove it, but unfortunately, he did not know the exact answer when. So it was really hard for Tada to accept that both these images highlighted different aspects of this contemporary world. He understood the reason behind the gap between this rich and poor, educated and uneducated, privileged and privileged one. But what he could not understand was the gulf between a big gap between rationality and the superstition that is prevailed all over the India. He did not know if this gap would ever shrink. So students, here the discussion of our chapter, the Comet 1 and the Comet 2 is over now, and you all have got to know now how eventually the efforts done by these all scientists and astronomers saved our world. So students, write down the question answers of this chapter, read out this chapter again to understand all the important word meanings and the lines so that you can give the answers of all the questions and MCQs. Read out this chapter thoroughly, write down all the question answers, and tomorrow we are going to start up our next chapter. Till then, take care of yourself. Thank you.